able to get Mr. Sergio Gonzalez from Sallie Mae.
For those of you maybe not familiar with Sallie Mae, we are an education solutions company. And today I'm going to talk to you guys about what's the real cost of college, all scholarships, work study, money that's free money that you don't have to pay back. Always the best kind of financial aid that's available for students. So what are we going to talk about today? About how to determine what school is going to cost, right? All right, so let's start here with determining school costs. You need to understand what is the difference between direct costs and indirect costs, and what does that mean? The great thing about University of Houston Downtown is that it's affordable in comparison to other schools that may be out there as well. Net price, this is important, right? Every undergraduate institution has to provide you some sort of net price calculator for you to determine what those prices are going to be. A lot of students think that this is something that you do one time and it covers you for the 4 or 5 years that you'll be in college, and that is not the case. This is something that you have to do on an annual basis, and it's open every October 1st. If you're an undergraduate student, you're going to need your parent also. You'll need social security numbers or any alien registration numbers if you're not a U.S. citizen. You'll need your W-2s and tax returns. But this is kind of a quick rundown of that list of things that you will need to help you complete that FAFSA form. And listen, financial aid, we're all about some acronyms. One is cost of attendance. The other one is the expected family contribution, or EFC as they call it. The other thing is special conditions or special circumstances, right? So whenever there's any impact in your family's ability to pay for college, maybe there's some outstanding medical bills that's really affecting their income, speak with financial aid because there may be some special conditions that they can make based on your situation. And then lastly, verification. Nothing to be alarmed about. This is something that's sometimes randomly done by the Department of Education. A third of all FAFSAs are put for verification. So you fill out your FAFSA, you make sure that everything is correct, you submit it to the federal government, they'll process it, the SAR or the student aid report, and basically those are the results of your FAFSA, right? And in there, it's gonna tell you what your EFC is, that expected family contribution that we talked about. Basically, how do you determine financial need? This is the way that you do it. Figure that out, go to UHD's website, put in cost of attendance, it'll show you what that cost is. And I think a misconception that a lot of students and families have is that, well, why am I even gonna do a FAFSA? We make too much money already. I encourage every student to file a FAFSA regardless. Let's get into those offer letters because you're getting those from financial aid now every year. Not all award letters or financial aid offer letters are the same. And then it's gonna break down the different type of financial aid that you're gonna be receiving. Let's look at a sample financial aid offer here, right? Most universities are going to award you on an academic year basis. And what else is being offered to me? So now let's get into the good stuff, which is how do you find and apply for scholarships and grants? Every year that you are in college, you should keep looking for scholarships. Most likely for grants, you have to file a FAFSA. And these grants can be given to you by the federal government or by the state of Texas. Once that's exhausted, that's gone. So that's why I always tell you, try to file your FAFSA as soon as possible so that financial aid can start working on your financial aid offer. There are different areas that you're getting these grants and scholarships, right? Some from the federal government, some from the state. So what are scholarships? Basically, scholarship is free money, similar to the grant. You don't have to pay it back. Some may require FAFSA because it's need-based, some may be merit-based. There are all kinds of scholarships that are out there. University of Houston Downtown may have scholarships for students who are currently enrolled in college. There's a lot of private scholarships that are out there as well. Coca-Cola, we're in Houston, so the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, they have a big scholarship program. McDonald's has one, Walmart has one. But the great thing about this is that it's free, there's no cost to you whatsoever. And how this works basically is that you go out and create a profile for yourself. Right? Background about yourself. Are you first generation? Are you a minority? The other good option, once you've exhausted grants and scholarships, is employment or federal work study. If you qualify for this, definitely take advantage of it. And then once you've exhausted grants and scholarships, as a student borrower, the federal government has two types of loans for you. There's a direct subsidized loan and a direct unsubsidized loan. Always start with the subsidized if you qualify. And if you don't, then you go to the unsubsidized. But these are two great loans. And currently the interest rate on this loan is really good and it's a fixed rate. at 4.99%. You can look at maybe your parent taking out a loan on your behalf. A FAFSA is required for students or for parents to take out this loan. So, but again, the parent will be the one responsible to pay that back. Usually you pay that back in about a 10-year period. You've exhausted your grants, you've exhausted scholarships, you've exhausted work study. You took out the student loan, but you still have a balance. Then maybe you go talk to the business office and say, hey, I have a balance and I want to see if I can get into a payment plan, right? This is a great option because you're not having to borrow, you're basically making a monthly payment plan. So there's a loan that are offered by banks that can help you pay for whatever balance remains. There's companies like Sallie Mae. They have both variable and fixed rates. And then when you receive your offer letter that you're gonna get every year from school, only borrow what you need, not what you want, right? Because just because you have a cost of attendance doesn't mean you have to borrow up to that cost. You wanna make sure that you understand what it is that the costs are gonna be and what aid is available to take care of that cost. And the least borrowing that you're having to do, the better that is, which is why we wanna make sure that you had all those resources when it came to scholarships and grants.